Hi here, Finns here. I'm back for another video, and yes, it's all changed. My hair! I've had a haircut since I've last done another video on my channel. You see, look at the back. Look at the back. See? I'm a new man. But no, today was a very exciting day in the world of Eurovision because the hills were alive with sound of an allocation draw. Yes, today was the allocation draw for Eurovision 2024 that will take place in Malmö, Sweden. 37 countries competing this year. 6 get automatic qualifying positions. The other 31 has to compete in one of 2 semi-finals. That's a lot of numbers for me. The first semi-final is 15 countries will compete in. The second will have 16 countries in, and both semi-finals, only 10 countries will qualify. I have got my notes right here to tell you who will be competing in which semi-final, and me analysing and reviewing the both of the draws, and who is in a good position and who's not. So let's find out together. So we will start off with the first semi-final. And so, competing in the first semi-final, we have the following countries: Ukraine, Cyprus, Poland, Serbia, Lithuania, Croatia, Ireland, and in the second half, we have Slovenia, Iceland, Finland, Portugal, Luxembourg, welcome back to the party, Luxembourg, Australia, Azerbaijan, and Moldova. And I should also point out, voting from the automatic qualifiers from this semi-final are Sweden, the UK, and Germany. So those are the 15 countries that will compete in the semi-final one. Now, just like last year, I put down countries that put them in, well, I say 3 categories. I put 4 categories because there's one country that I can't put any of these categories. I did a little bit of a list here. As you can see here, I made 3 categories. The first category is the most likely qualifiers, countries that tend to qualify pretty much every year. And then I have in the middle got the on and off qualifiers. Some countries, you know, sometimes they qualify, some years they don't. And then I've got the strugglers qualifiers, countries that have really struggled in recent years of making the final. So to quickly go through them, the most likely qualifiers. Oh, and there is also another category called Luxembourg, because I can't put Luxembourg in any of these categories because you could call them, because Luxembourg haven't competed in a national, in a semi-final. The last time they competed was before the semi-final system was even introduced. So I've had to put Luxembourg in their own column. But who knows, maybe next year we'll find out which column they will go into. If they compete again next year, fingers crossed. So for the most likely qualifiers, I've put, of course, Ukraine, Australia, Norway, Serbia, Israel, Cyprus, Azerbaijan, Greece, Netherlands, and Moldova. For the on and off qualifiers, there's quite a few. I'll quickly go through them. They are Albania, Austria, Switzerland, Croatia, Slovenia, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, Iceland, Armenia, Lithuania, Malta, Portugal, Belgium, Czechia, and Poland. And for the struggling qualifiers, I've put Georgia, Latvia, Ireland, and San Marino. So those are a bit of context for you going into the 2 semi-finals. So let's go back to semi-final 1 now. Get back to my list. No, that's the wrong list. Here it is, the right one. And I've got to say, out of the 2 semi-finals we have this year, I definitely think, like last year, semi-final 1 is the bloodbath. We have a really, really strong semi-final. Out of that list, I have 6 most likely qualifiers in the semi. That includes Ukraine, Cyprus, Serbia, Azerbaijan and Moldova, and also you've also got countries that have also done quite well, like Finland in recent years. Lithuania in recent years has a good run of qualifications. Portugal in recent years. So it's going to be a bloodbath. Um, very interesting enough, all competing ex-Yugoslavic countries are all drawn into the semi-final. That is Croatia, Serbia, and Slovenia are all in this one semi-final, which is very bizarre. Competing when you think about the pot system should be separating block voting and that. Um, but obviously last year, for the first time ever, all the competing ex-Yugoslavic countries made the final, which is the same three as this year. Rest in peace, Montenegro and North Macedonia. Um, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. Anyway, so yes, can all three of them make it through this year? Who knows? I mean, obviously they're going to exchange votes. Other patterns we could see: Iceland and Finland exchange votes. I think we know that Poland and Lithuania have got good diasporas. Poland's got the UK, Ireland, Ukraine, Lithuania, Germany, and Lithuania's got the UK, Ireland, Ukraine, Poland, Germany, the exact same five. So yeah, I think those two countries, put either one of them in the number two spot, I think it's probably wise, if they've got big diasporas. Very interesting enough, both Ireland and Slovenia are in the same semis, both sending us a bit of witchcraft this year. But I think musically, both those songs are very different, and I'm glad they're both in different halves. Ireland's got the UK this year in their semi. I think that might well help. And I have to say, I am glad Ireland did select Bambi Fug on Friday, because if they chose one of those safe options, then I think it would have been curtains for Ireland personally. So I'm glad this year, especially in this bloodbath semi-final, they're taking a risk this year with Bambi Fug. So I think that's good. I mean, you got Australia usually qualifies, even though this year we don't really know what Australia's gonna send to the party. It could be anyone from Darming Eam to Kylie Minogue to Danny McNoe to Jaguar Jones. It could be anyone really. It's an open book for Australia. Ukraine again always qualifies. I mean, oh gosh, I really hope this doesn't become the semi-final. Ukraine loses 100% track record. I'm hoping not. I hope not. I don't. I think. I don't know. They've got friends, and the Ukrainian diaspora now around Europe is quite strong now. So yes, I feel sorry for Luxembourg because they're the I mean, it's nice that we've now got three Benelux countries, but I feel like bad that Luxembourg's the only country that hasn't got a Benelux country. Belgium and the Netherlands were drawn in semi-final two. Um, I do feel quite bad for Luxembourg. They don't have any friends. They don't even have Austria or Switzerland or France. The only neighbour they've really got is Germany. We know the song. I think it would be nice for producers to put Luxembourg as the last song of the semi. I think the song's quite upbeat. Fighter is a nice pop song. It'll get people into the voting. Yeah, and it'll be a nice return for Luxembourg, be them the show closer. I mean, to be fair, no placement is guaranteed. You can be the show closer and still fail to qualify. But I yeah, they better well be the show closer, because I'm worried for Luxembourg, considering they just don't have any neighbours. And I also worry a little bit about Portugal. Their closest friends are like Spain and France, and they were drawn in semi-final too as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't heard the songs for Portugal yet, so it's hard for me to judge. Um, so I mean, they could still send a really good song and still qualify. But yeah, I don't know yet. I'm still worried. Cyprus is also another one that's interesting. They don't have Greece, but they do have Australia. Celia is lives in Australia but has separate Greek roots. So she'll get 12 points from Australia, but will that be enough? Who knows? And I also kind of worry, 16, 17-year-old on the Eurovision stage, can she handle it without doing the pre-parties? Is this going to be another Andrew Mahi or Victor Vernikos? I hope not. But we've got to wait and see on that. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be an interesting one. I'm glad that Azerbaijan and Armenia are separated. Interesting enough, Iceland and Israel are separated. Um, Talked about Cyprus and Greece are separated. Yeah, it's just very interesting that we've got all three ex-Yugoslavic countries in same semi-final. But I think for now that is it from me. I think I've talked about everything from semi-final one, so let's move on to semi-final two now. I can now reveal competing in the second semi-final. We have from the first half, we have Austria, Malta, Switzerland, Greece, Czechia, Albania, Denmark, and Armenia. And in the second half, we have Israel, Estonia, Georgia, Netherlands, Norway, Latvia, San Marino, and Belgium. And I should also point out, voting in the semi-final, we have Spain, Italy, and France. So, yes, semi-final two is weaker. I think we can all clearly see from semi-final one, semi-final two is a lot weaker. I think we have three strugglers in here: Georgia, Latvia, and San Marino. I mean, there are a few strong ones, including Norway, Israel, Greece, and Netherlands that usually can qualify. But yes, this does feel like an open book. Yes, and the neighbouring countries, we got two Nordic countries, Norway and Denmark in the semi-final. We have also got two Benelux countries, Netherlands and Belgium, for the first time since 2015 are in a semi-final together. So yes, I mean, there are a few other countries that really, really struggle to qualify: Malta, Latvia, Georgia, San Marino, Denmark in recent years. So there are a few out there that, I'm glad that are in the weaker semi-final, so they could have a shot of qualifying this year. Yes. Austria and Switzerland are together. Kaelin, We Will Rave. I haven't listened to the song. I know the song's like leaked or something, but I heard that it's quite upbeat, so maybe that could open the semi-final, maybe. Who else? Who else? Albania's got Italy in this semi-final. That might help them out. Who else is looking good? San Marino's also got Italy in the semi-final, so that might look good for them, depending what they select. We've got Estonia and Latvia, two Baltic countries together. Greece and Cyprus are separated. So yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of kind of close voting, apart. I mean, that would technically give each other 12 points. Usually, I mean, it's quite a wide open semi-final. Definitely weaker compared to the first one. And of course, we have got Israel in the semi-final, which I need to touch on. Of course, Israel did request this semi-final, and they have been put in the second half of the second semi-final. Obviously, the EBU is allowing Israel to compete this year, and I am very glad that Iceland and Ireland are in separate semi-finals from Israel. I mean, we can go on about this, like, should the EBU put Israel through, At the end of the day, they're here. We haven't heard the song yet from Israel. I hope it's not propaganda or anything like that. Israel knows the rules by now. They know what happened to Belarus in 2021. They know the consequences. You know, if you don't want to ban for 5 years and get your membership, taken away, don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, it's a tough one. At the end of the day, Israel is just it's buying by the rules at the end of the day. They know the consequences if they break the rules at the end of the day. Um, it is what it is at the end of the day, and it's always sad to see what's happening in Israel nowadays and the Hamas and all this horrible stuff that's going on. I just hope Israel, doesn't break the rules because they know the consequences. They know the consequences, but and yeah, it's just be interesting to see how Israel will do this year at Eurovision. We shall wait and see on that. So yes, yeah, I don't know what else more to say really from this semi-final than saying that it is a kind of good one for the weaker countries that have struggled. Like Georgia, is sending a really good artist. Like maybe Georgia could get to the final. Latvia is looking quite good this year, I would say. I mean, Belgium, Musti was the first artist announced. He's got the Netherlands in this semi-final. I mean, I think Used from Netherlands is also good. That both, I think Netherlands and Belgium will exchange points. Actually, I've got a feeling they will. So I'm feeling good about these two Benelux countries. Luxembourg on the other semi-final, I'm worried. But yeah, it's a hard one to call. I mean, Czechia, we know the song Ico, Pedestal, you know. If Czechia was in the first semi-final, I would be worried. Being in the weaker semi-final, I think she's got a bit more of a chance. Um, like I wouldn't have said she would be dead on arrival in the first semi-final, but I would have been really, really worried about Czechia's chance. Being in this weaker semi-final, I think Czechia's got a bit of a chance, but they've got to execute that song really well and not make it shouty, in my opinion. Because the Junior Cat's quite nice, so we'll go away and see. Armenia got no clue what Armenia's going to be sending this year. Um, yeah, I mean, this year there's not really many countries. I think the second one's really wide open. Anything could happen, really. I think we just have to wait for the songs, really. But in any case, there's one other thing I want to do before I've been taken away, is that I actually tried to predict who would be performing in which semi-final, and here's my list. I hope you can see it properly. See, this is who I thought would be in the semi-finals together. There you go. And I actually kind of got some of it right. It's just not in the right half. But yeah, it's. I tried. I actually tried to predict, but what the chances of actually getting it right? I'm quite happy that I got like some of the countries right, but not in the right half. So I was close. In any case, what do you think of the first? Well, what do you think of both semi-finals and the running orders? Not the running orders, the allocation draws. Well, comment down below in the comments below, like and subscribe to this video, and I will be back for more content very soon. Until then, goodbye, people. Goodbye.